Happy Venus Day! Thank you so much for stopping by my channel, coming back. If you're new here, my name is Juliana, but you can call me Moonies or Julie because the brand is Moonies Metaphysical. I respond to both, but it's entirely up to you. Thank you for stopping by and taking the time to learn tarot with me and my interpretation of it. If you like this type of content, like learning tarot, oracle cards, how to read and pick a card readings and stuff like that, then definitely hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that way you don't miss an upload, and check me out on my socials at Moonies Metaphysical on all platforms. I'm mostly active on Instagram, but TikTok I'm also trying to get there, but mostly Instagram. So, and in my Instagram account, you'll see all my other previous cards of the day readings. If you also love crystals and jewelry and incense and all that stuff, definitely check out the link in my description box and also the link in my Instagram bio so you can shop some of my metaphysical goodies. Alright, so let's get started. So today we are talking about tarot. So in this episode, we're introducing tarot to people who aren't familiar with it or get a little bit of information but aren't exactly sure, and introducing what that is, the system. I have some examples here to show you guys, and then we get started on the first actual card of the deck. So I have my little handy dandy laptop here with my notes. I'm going to be glancing at it, but for the most part I've been doing this for a while, so I know it like the back of my hand. Not perfect. I wouldn't say, oh my god, I'm so arrogant and I know everything, because that's definitely not how I am, or my skill level, should I say, but I'm well enough where people come to me, they pay for my services to give them personal card readings. So if you're interested in that, you can also check out personal booking with me in my website, and then in the description box it'll tell you more of how I do my readings. But if you want that, you can check that out and purchase it on my website. But I've been doing this for a while. I specifically work with tarot and oracle decks, to be specific, animal-based oracle decks. I use a lot of animal spirits in my craft, and just overall how I interpret my readings and how I give it to myself, my friends, and my clients. So definitely if you're interested in that, the description will also be in my bio, or the link will be in the description or in my bio on Instagram. Sorry, Mercury retrograde, what are words? But yeah, so to start off, so we're going to give a brief introduction on what tarot is. So tarot, and these decks I'm also going to list in the description box as well if they're still available. This was my first actual tarot deck. This one I had ordered on Etsy. Fun story, I had ordered this on Etsy. At the time I had a Galaxy, so I had my Samsung Pay, and it was automatically linked to my Etsy, so I was just constantly shopping there all the time. It was really dangerous. It still is with like any other Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay. All that stuff is dangerous. But anyway, so that I had ordered this deck, and this deck, I was so obsessed with it. It's called the Raining Road Tarot Deck by Sam Sawyer. Once again, I got this off Etsy, and the deck, I had ordered it immediately, and I realized that it was shipping to the address that I no longer was at. So I reached out to the seller, and I was like, hey, I just bought this, can I change the shipping address, because I don't live there anymore, and I didn't realize. And the seller got back to me immediately, like within an hour, and was like, totally, I got you, what's the new address, and covered it. But somehow they still sent out another deck to that old location, and I just, at the time, I was like, maybe somebody else needs it as well as I do, because I also received my deck, but somebody also received it, because I knew somebody that still lived at that area, and I was like, it's okay, just they can have it. Maybe it was meant from the universe, you know, for them to experiment with tarot. So just a funny story, but me and somebody else got this tarot deck at the same time and at the same point in our lives, so it was very fun, it's very sentimental. But this was my first tarot deck, and this is my favorite tarot deck. Like, this is my tried and true, this is my baby, this is my baby, but this is also like gonna call me out of my ish. So but going back to the whole initial point of what tarot is a 78 spiritual card system. So it's a 78 card deck. 22 of the cards, the starter cards, should I say, are considered the major arcana cards, and the remaining 56 are the minor arcana. Now, the major arcana are the ones that people typically are aware of, you know, the death card, the tarot, the lovers, the chariot, all that stuff. Those are the major arcana. Those are the ones with the bigger energy, usually the center of your reading, the hard hitters. And then the minor arcana are split into 4 suits, and each suit is classified basically by the elements. There's the wands for fire, there's pentacles for earth, there's cups for water, and then there is swords for air. And then within those suits, they have the page, the knight, the king, and the queen. And there's also 10 numerical cards between those. So those make up the remaining 56 of the traditional tarot. The traditional tarot deck is always going to have 78 cards in the major and minor arcana. Sometimes in the minor arcana, in regards to the suit names, like sometimes 6 of pentacles will come up as 6 of coins, but like you would know, like once you become more familiar with tarot, you'll be easy to pick up on those like different names. They're not anything different. The signs and the logos are always the same, like they're the pentacles, but just the names and the minor arcana sometimes differ, but never ever usually do you see in the major arcana, because with tarot decks you see the aesthetic can always change of how, obviously, you know, the artwork, but the cards relatively are always the same and sticks to the traditional tarot, because that's what makes it the traditional tarot. So yeah, so that's the traditional tarot. That's just introduction to tarot. The difference between tarot and oracle cards I get a lot of questions about is that tarot is a system that's been around for a while. You probably have seen like the old style of art with the yellow background. I forgot, is that the Rider-Waite one? I always forget that name. I'm bad with names. But that one is like this tarot system has been around for a long time. And it's always the same. 78 decks and the cards are the same. That's what makes it a tarot deck. Now, oracle decks are different. There's no rhyme or reason to an oracle deck. The oracle deck functions as a spiritual card system as well, but there is no specific classifications as to what makes it an oracle deck. Like I've seen some oracle decks have as low as 10 cards in them, and this one, which is my favorite, has 68 cards, so 10 cards less than the traditional tarot. Still though, amazing. I love this one specifically. This one is by Colette Baron Reed. This is the Spirit Animal Oracle. Like I mentioned earlier, I work a lot with animals, spirits, and animal-based deities in my practice personally. So this is my baby. This is my chart too. This is the one I use a lot on my Instagram story for my card of the day. A lot of people like these when they're coming across my Instagram and on my TikTok. So just for that out there, if you're interested, I will also link both decks in the bio. You can check it out. But yes, oracle decks are usually centered around a theme, so they don't have to follow a specific set of requirements like the traditional tarot. Like you're not going to find a major arcana in an oracle deck, or you might find some similar words like a strength card or the queen for like the empress card or something similar like that, but they're really based on the aesthetic of what the oracle deck is for. So this one obviously focuses on animals, so this one focuses a lot on like the pig spirit and what the pig spirit means, and then it comes with a booklet that tells you like the overall message or protection message and stuff like that. But oracle decks are theme based, and the tarot deck is traditionally based on a specific set of cards. So that is the difference between the two. I always recommend people, when they're learning tarot specifically, to learn tarot and then go into implementing oracle cards in your reading. But if you feel like you're learning tarot and you're still a little scared of it, hopefully this series helps you feel more confident and learn. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment in here on YouTube, or follow me on Instagram. But like, hey, I'm here from your Instagram video. Can you just explain something a little bit more for me? I will be more than happy to do so. Okay, but going back to what I was saying, if you feel like the tarot is still a little bit intimidating for you, then I would say to open up your comfortability in reading cards for yourself and for like your friends and stuff like that. I would suggest try with an oracle deck to see if there's one. Check them out. Just type in oracle deck wherever you buy your stuff at, and look at the one that really resonates with you and try to break you through of like how to read a spread. Or if you want to jump straight into tarot, then that's totally fine with you. But I was just explaining the differences. So that is the traditional tarot versus the oracle. Now we're going to talk about the whole reason of this episode. We're going to start with the #1 card of the tarot, which is the Magician card. So another thing to note with tarot decks as well is that with the cards and how they start for the major arcana, they will have a number on the top of which card it is. So, and I reference this because this is just the Magician, you know, we're just starting off with the Magician, but like the second and the third card, for example, the second card is the High Priestess, and then the third card is the Empress. Sometimes people get those two cards confused, but they're not the same card. They just seem to be similar, but they're not. And just in case if you ever get confused or you're unsure of like the order, like if you want to practice and read books and follow along with this series and which card is what, the numbers are usually at the top. So this one will have this one has a 1 on top of the sword, and you will be able to indicate it. Like it's usually at the top, but sometimes it's at the bottom or like within the floating images of the card, but the numbers typically are always there. So once again, to start off, the first card of the traditional tarot major arcana is the Magician card. The Magician is the magus, the manifester, the manipulator. You know, it could go left, it could go right, but overall the energy of the Magician is the magus, the Mr. Magic person, magic man, magic woman, magic person, whichever you identify as, but or want this body. Because another thing too with tarot is that, you know, you have the Emperor, you have the Empress, you have the High Priestess, you have the Hierophant, that sometimes typically it's on the card drawn as a male. But remember, with it's all spiritual, never personal. So some energies can be more masculine, some energies be more feminine, but that doesn't necessarily mean in regards to your reading, whether you're asking about a specific person or a question about a situation with a person, doesn't mean that yes is a man or yes is a woman. Or so just keep that in mind. It's always spiritual, never personal in regards to energies of masculine and feminine. It's just how they, like typical characteristics and how the energy manifests, basically. So the magus is that's what I was saying. The magus is the manifester or can be the manipulator. So the magus has all 4 energies of the suits on the card, which is the earth, air, water, and fire. Now with the suits, as I mentioned earlier for the minor arcana, the suits are cups, which is water energy, fire is wands, swords is air, and pentacles are earth energy. And the magus, since it's the Magician, has all 4 of those elements. And so the energy of the magus, the Magician overall, in this card specifically, it is reminding you that you have all the resources and all the willpower to figure out your situation, to figure out the answer that you keep going back and forth about, that you feel unsure about. When you see the Magician card, think of like Hocus Pocus, like in the movie where they have the cauldron and they're putting all their resources and all their ingredients together because they want to eat the children, right? But that is essentially the energy of the Magician. The Magician has all of the 4 elements: the energy, the mental the mental and emotional compatibility, and sometimes it's just the financial knowledge and accessibility to do whatever it is that they need to get done. You have all 4 of the elements to just make like whatever it is that you're asking. You have all the resources and you have the the willpower to drive yourself to figure it out, whether it's to like completion or to just start your journey for whatever it is that you're asking for. The Magician is reminding you that you are the one. You are the center. Like you're starting from the bottom, and then one day you're gonna get to the top. You know, starting from the bottom, now we're here type of ish. So the Magician is definitely the card that gives that energy. No one can stop me but me. I got everything that I need to do. I know what I need to do. I might not know it entirely, but I know my step number 1. Okay, the card of the Magician is number 1. Step number 1, now you got to get to it. You got to figure it out the rest, right? With reading, sometimes some people have their own interpretation of upright versus reversal. Some people don't even read reversals. Some people say reversals are negative. Some people say they're positive. I disagree with those. I think 1, I think you should read reversals, and 2, I also believe that they're not negative or positive per se, upright or reverse. I just think it's a gray area topic. Like some cards, upright card can have what would consider be a negative connotation versus some other cards that would have a reversal, and it will be a positive connotation. It's just all about up to how you feel about the card and the energy of your reading, like what's it's indicating to you. But to start off with upright, we have manifestation, we have creativity, we have all your eggs are in a basket, now you can go and make the bread type of energy when you have upright. When you have a reversal, it could mean that maybe there's other things at play. Like maybe you are the person that needs to get worked on. Maybe you need to go look yourself in the mirror and stop give yourself a bombastic side eye. You know, when it's reversed, it could mean it highlights a lot of greed specifically and manipulation, because remember, the magician has all the resources, but when it's upside down, it could mean eternally that somebody's hiding resources from you, or maybe you're the person hiding resources from somebody else in a specific situation. Maybe you're greedy, maybe you're the one that's being a manipulator, you know, maybe you're the one that's not being a girl's girl, you know, but like I said, it's up to the interpretation of how you feel. You would know when you pull cards and you're just like pulling cards, you're asking a question, you read it, and you're like, dang, maybe it is me, maybe I'm the villain. Or you get it upright and you're like, dang, I knew it, I knew I should have started that YouTube channel, I knew I should have opened that Shopify account. Like, you know, you would know. The cards are just a spiritual system to help you put what's in here and the signs of the universe, combine them together and to put them in a physical, tangible spread, you know. But you know when you pull the cards, you know what they're saying. You know, you might be a little confused because you're overthinking, but that's the whole point of practicing and learning. That's the whole point of this series on this channel, is to teach yourself the basics, so that way when you're pulling spreads for yourself or for your family, for your loved ones, or opening up a business, you would know. You'll be like, okay, I know what this means. I know what's going on here. Like, I can figure this out. But so that's upright, and then that's reversal. The element of the magician is air, because it's it has all the resources and it's starting at number 1. It's like, okay, you know, we have the energy, we have the emotional compatibility, we have the financial structure, so now we gotta create it, we gotta put it into play. So it's an air element, and it's ruled by the planet Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and Virgo, both mutable signs. One is an air sign, one is a earth sign. So it's a lot of mercurial energy, similar to mercurial aspects is what I like to say. You know, life and death is in the tongue when it comes to the magician. What are you manifesting? How are you talking to yourself? How are you talking to other people? How is that coming up in your life? The magician card definitely will highlight in what aspect, what you're looking for. Now, in a reading, if you're looking for a simple, straightforward reading, especially when you're new to tarot and you're like trying to ask very simple questions and not super in-depth, but you want to pull and practice with the energies of the tarot, and you're asking like yes or no, maybe so questions, when you get this in a reading, it's a yes. It's a yes. Now, it could be a yes upside down, and it's also, it's a yes upright, and it's the yes upside down. Yes, you are creative. Yes, go for that job. Yes, open that YouTube channel. Yes, you're being greedy. Yes, you're being petty. Yes, you are not being a girl's girl. And yes, you should book that therapy appointment because you're projecting onto other people. Yes, okay? So when you get the magician in a reading, it's definitely, for a yes, no, maybe so, it's definitely a yes card. But that is all that I have for you today, Moonies. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end. If you made it to this point, this is the end. Drop a black cat emoji in the comments if you made it to the end, so that way we know. People that made it to the end, when we're dropping comments, we got each other. We're team, we're gang, you know, we're the Mooney squad. But drop a cat emoji if this resonates with you, or if you made it to the end. Let me know how you feel about it. The goal of this series is I want to focus on the major arcana, so my goal right now is to make 22 episodes. This is episode 1, and make an episode dedicated for every individual card. Unless some people prefer more videos but at a shorter time frame, like this video isn't going to be long. Some people prefer longer videos but less videos overall, so maybe in those videos I can do 2 to 3 cards in one. But let me know in the comments like how you feel about it. All the decks are going to be linked in the description if they're still available. I know the Oracle is, I'm not sure about the Tarot ones, but if it's available I'm going to link it, or link at least the artist shop, because I did buy it at Etsy. I'm going to link all my socials, so I'm Moonies Metaphysical on Instagram, I'm Moonies Metaphysical on TikTok, I'm Moonies Metaphysical on Etsy. I'm also going to link my shop in the description if you are interested in purchasing some crystal goodies, some incense, or booking a personal reading with me. And I'll list that all. And if you don't check it out in my description, then you can always just check it out on my Instagram. I have all my links there too as well on my link tree. So definitely check that out. But thank you guys so much for making it to the end of this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Share with your friends. And just know that I love you all. Have a great day. Bye.